Welcome to the podcast where relationships, confidence, and determination all converge into an amazing, heartfelt experience. This is Speaking from the Heart.
Welcome back to episode number 118 of Speaking from the Heart. This month, we're going to be celebrating a series of Wednesday episodes in which I am bringing on some of the most favorite people that have helped me either with my podcast, Speaking from the Heart, or have helped me with my business, Your Speaking Voice LLC, to get to where I am. Because if it wasn't for these individuals, I wouldn't be half the person that I am today, let alone be as effective as I continue to grow not only my relationships, my confidence, my determination, but to celebrate the fact that these people have been instrumental in getting me to where I need to be. And we are also doing a very first in this episode in which I have two guests on this show today. They are a husband and wife team, Corey and Brittany Hart, in which they own Enzo Digital LLC, which they are my social media managers to help me with creating awesome content for Your Speaking Voice LLC. Enzo Digital, a family-owned business, is owned by Corey and Brittany Hart, a dedicated husband and wife team rooted in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Leveraging a combined 10-plus years of marketing experience, their joy stems from aiding fellow business owners in achieving their goals while mutually advancing towards their own. Their services cater to small businesses, offering specialized expertise in social media management, marketing material design, and comprehensive website design and development. Their focus revolves around crafting unique content, creating custom graphics, and fostering active community engagement. And even with all the social media they do, they also have worked on my website, yourspeakingvoice.biz, which if you want to see a sample of their awesome work, go check that out. But even in today's conversation, it really exemplifies the fact that it isn't just about what we create as relationships with other people, but it could even be what we have as a family, the family in which we adopt, to help create not only the teamwork that we need to have in order to create businesses beyond our wildest imagination, but to help us find our niche, to find our voice. In this ever-changing world, we need to have people that will allow us to shout it to the mountaintops, whether we have it in social media or website design. Regardless of the marketing tools that you might use, this conversation demonstrates the ability for us to know our purpose and to develop that purpose into wildest dreams and imagination, all because of the people that we get to associate with. But with that, let's go to the episode. All right, we're here with Brittany and Corey Hart. Brittany and Corey, thanks for sharing your heart with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this. And I want to say thank you too. Not only are you part of a special set of episodes kicking us off, but I never had two people on the show at once. So this is really a fantastic opportunity to talk to both of you about your business and what this is all about. And I want to start off by saying thank you for being part of my small business opportunity that I've been able to have, knowing that you're both small business owners, because as we've even have talked about, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even have a website. I wouldn't have a social media presence. I wouldn't have anything. And you guys really bailed me out of it. So I want to say especially thank you for being part of my experience with this and helping me out. Brittany and Corey, I really want to start off with this. Why did you decide to enter marketing into your repertoire of skills that you wanted to be like, yeah, I want to be entrepreneurs. I want to be able to sell myself and help others sell themselves. What got you interested in doing what you're doing in your business?
Yeah, so just a little background. I have a bachelor's of science degree in marketing. There's that. Fun fact, I was undeclared going to college. I didn't know what I wanted to study, so I thought marketing. So I did that, and I actually was in an internship my senior year of college, and it introduced me to the world of marketing hands-on, which I really enjoyed, specifically social media management. And that's kind of where it all began.
Corey, what about you?
Kind of similar thing. My Bachelor of Science is in business with a specialization in financial services. So I came a little bit more from the finance background, but marketing plays into that as well. And the business side of things is definitely something that I grew up around. Entrepreneurship is something that was in my family for a long time. So that's definitely something that brought us to it as well. I went to school for business and finance, but marketing was a big component of that. aside from the financial services portion of it, a big part of it is marketing. So that was a big thing for us.
Was there someone or some people, and this is to either one of you, that really helped you to feel like you could do something like this and be successful? Because I know for me, and I've shared this even with you personally, there's been a number of people that have pushed me into this direction of seeing my ability to not only help others, but to train them, to educate them, to mentor them. I'm wondering if there was somebody in either one of your lives that had done the same. And if so, feel free to name them if you want to give them a shout out. And also, if you could describe how they helped you, that is a big benefit for our audience.
Yeah, I think a big inspiration in both of our lives is actually Corey's dad. He owns Hart Financial Services. He just really shows us what hard work is and what it takes to be a business owner and what you can do with it. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning when I said I grew up around entrepreneurship and business ownership. Was seeing him run that company, start it on his own, and build that from nothing to something that was and still is very successful, which kind of took me in that direction of finance when I first started into business in college. I just knew that what I wanted to do in life was an entrepreneurial type thing, whether that was in marketing, whether that was in finance, but just seeing the way that he was able to operate and the growth he experienced and just the freedom he had to make his own destiny and do things the way that he wanted to do was really something that drove me. And then when Brittany and I were together and started talking about Enzo and some different things there, I kind of brought that more to her to understand the benefits and the challenges of entrepreneurship, but how you get out what you put into that, specifically through all that work. And in a lot of cases, it is more work than, say, a 9 to 5 or something like that. But you do reap those rewards over time. And that's something that you can't really find somewhere else, as opposed to building something from the ground up and choosing entrepreneurship.
You have that flexibility to be able to do that. And I love that, Corey, because I think for many people that start out with this, they don't realize that the true freedom that you can have with being able to build your own schedule, build your own business, those are all added benefits, which is really striking me in terms of a question, because I've had a number of guests on the show that have talked about not only their personal lives of how they got to be where they are in their business, but also what really led them into creating that venture for themselves. But now that I have two of you, as opposed to usually talking to just one of the two, I'm really curious, what led you both to wanting to be in business together? Don't you have enough time that you spend together already? So like, why do a business together too? I'm really curious about that. And I'm sure some of my listeners are as well.
Of course. So fun fact, Corey and I are high school sweethearts. We've been together for over 11 years, or 5-year wedding anniversaries coming up in July. We both work from home. We don't get sick of each other, I think, which is shocking. People do ask us that, but I think we work better as a team than separated for sure. Communication comes into play, but to start business together is something that we wanted to do and we chose to do. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, we have an interesting dynamic because in a lot of ways we're very similar, but in other ways we're very different from each other too. So it's probably why we don't butt heads as much as some people might. I think if she was a lot like me, we would butt heads a lot. So we kind of have that give and take where I would say I'm a little bit more introverted than she is. She's a little bit more extroverted than I am. But together we can kind of put those things together in different parts of the business to make everything work. And then, like she said, we spend all our time together, honestly. So we really don't get sick of working together or having to have that separation that you see a lot of people may struggle with because they go to work and they come home and they only see each other for a finite amount of time. And that's great for some people, but we've always seemed to work well together if we work together.
We balance each other out.
Speaking of balance, because that is such a perfect segue, how do you keep the balance then between work and life? Do you guys have a certain set schedule that you do? Is there something that you say, oh, well, I'm only going to do this today, and then we'll take the rest of the day. We'll work on family things. I figured that since you have the freedom and then you're able to also enjoy living with each other, that there has to be a camaraderie or some sort of ability to work together so that you kind of know where that limit is. So I'm wondering if you could share a little bit about that and how you make that work on a day-to-day basis.
That's interesting you asked that, because I feel like as business owners, Corey also has another company, HH Custom Baits. He makes fishing lures. So we're busy all the time. I think as business owners that are in the beginning years, within the first 5-year stage, I think you need to work, and get where you need to be. We're not quite where we want to be. We're getting there. But I think what's important is you need to put in the work to get there. So as far as balance and work-life balance, we usually have like a designated night, Friday evenings. We go spend time with family. And then also we try to do a lot of our work after hours. So we also have an almost 2-year-old daughter. We want to spend time with her. Thankfully, during the week, Corey's mom watches her while we work. We bring her home in the evenings. But we spend the days while she's at his mom's house chugging away on work. When she comes home, we focus on her in that family time. And then she goes to bed, and I may be content planning. He may be making a website or tying fishing lures. It's just all about putting in the work and the time to get there.
What she's basically saying is we don't really have a whole lot of balance at this
point. well, especially you, Corey, because like I'm literally sitting here thinking, oh, between designing websites and making bait lures, like how cool is that to be able to do?
I know, he doesn't give himself enough credit, for sure.
No, we don't really have much balance, to be honest. And that's okay for now. I mean, we take that Friday night usually as our night that we put everything down for the most part. We don't really have hours. We work pretty much whatever needs to get done, it just gets done, which can be good for some and not so good for others if they have to have a more structured schedule. But the way that we do things, we've never really had to have a structured schedule to get stuff done. Just with the freedom of everything. I always make the joke about how we work so much more than we probably would if we just had regular jobs. But if you enjoy what you're doing, then that's fine because you're working towards something and you appreciate the work that goes into it, and it doesn't feel like something that you're just spending your time on. We do try to take at least one day, and we spend that time with family, and then when it's warm out, I usually go and fish one day a week, hopefully, if I can.
Next time, I'm going to request, and I'll build this in, I'll pay you. Bring me with you so I can go fishing. No, I'm just kidding. I get to use some of your lures. Come on, Corey. I'm going to be able to fish a lot better because of you.
That's kind of the one day to be unplugged from everything for a while, because I really do enjoy being outside and away from all the technology and everything for a little bit. That kind of is a reset for the next week and start back into everything again. So that's the most balance, I would say.
Yeah, and it's really important to be able to do that. And I'm glad that you at least find some sort of balance between both of those things, which let's talk about your business now. I love the name of it. I will let you tell the story about why it's named the way it is. Just a reminder for my listeners, the business that Brittany and Corey have is called Enzo Digital LLC. And I'm wondering why the name Enzo. Please share that with us.
Yes. So my maiden name is Zambito. It's Italian. My family is Italian. So we wanted to incorporate the Italian culture, and Enzo in Italian means winner, king, on top. So we wanted to incorporate that into our business name because we want people, one, their presence to be known. We want them to be on top. We want them to succeed, which is why we started doing what we do.
Yeah, I mean, when we first talked about it, we were talking about working specifically with small businesses because in a lot of cases with bigger marketing companies, they kind of get left behind, I think. Because a lot of bigger companies will target those large companies that bring big marketing budgets and things like that. And we liked working with smaller businesses and we wanted to make winners. So that was kind of where Enzo came from because we wanted to help people grow their businesses, everything with their marketing and enable them to feel like they were winning in what they were doing.
Yeah, I think what's important too is I love that we help small business owners like yourself achieve their goals and reach their goals And you're also helping us achieve ours by giving us the chance to do so.
I'm always a big fan. I've always, as you know, Brittany, tagging left and right. Hey, go to Enzo, go to Enzo, go to Enzo. So it is, once you build that base, that ability to have that word of mouth, it makes such a big difference. And I feel related to what you're saying because it's taken me a while. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, and I've even said this on the show, that I'm a nobody sometimes when it comes to the bigger scheme of other people. But what you're doing is helping to find that voice for other people through the marketing. So I love not only the aspect of, oh, there's a great tie for what I'm doing, but it's a great tie with what you're doing because it works synonymously together. For those that don't know, you guys do social media management, you do marketing materials, you also do website design creation. I can say for a fact, because of just recently you helping to redesign some of my business cards, that I've been able to capture all three of those things. So what would you say is the most favorite thing you like doing as part of this whole suite of services, and why is that? And if both of you have something separate, please, you could share separately what you have, but I'm kind of curious.
I think we work kind of hand in hand in this as well. I'm more of the creative. I can create graphics as well as business cards, as you know, whereas Corey, he is great at copywriting. I may copyright something, a caption, something on a website, but he's the one that looks over it and makes sure that it sounds right for your content. So I'm more creative. I like creating graphics, whereas Corey is better with the copywriting end of it.
On the social media side, yeah, I enjoy building things. That's one of the things I like to do, which is why from the website, I do most of the website building and designing of that. That's my more creative part that I do. She does really well with the social media and doing all the creative content for the graphics and all that type of stuff. And then in the websites, building and designing those is more, I would say, my specialty and what we do. Something that I enjoy is taking an idea that somebody has, whether they have a vision for it or not, and building that out into something where they can have a professional space, bring people to, encourage new business, and have something that can leave our mark on it for a long term for them to have that professional website.
Yeah. And I think also something I enjoy doing is the collaboration. Like he mentioned, I'm more of the social media aspect of things. And I like collaborating with our clients and really working with them to make their vision come to life versus them just being another client that we get. I like creating relationships with them to be able to really make graphics that they like, make their branding come to life. It's just something that I enjoy.
What do both of you look for when you have a small business client that comes to you and wants to engage in your services in terms of not only creating that vision or creating that brand image? Is there something that you look for that you try to get them to kind of not only elaborate on, but maybe even explain for you to be able to create that vision? Maybe there's more than one thing, but maybe you can list a couple of those things, because I'm sure that there's some small business people listening to this that are trying to figure out what that looks like. And I'm kind of curious what your insights are as it relates to that.
Yeah, I would say their purpose for why they've chosen that business, the reasoning behind why, because everybody that starts a business, I would say people that really love what they do start it for that reason. They really feel like it's something that would bring meaning to their life. If you take all the time and the effort to start something, you would think in most cases that it's going to be fulfilling to you. And from some perspective, of course, everyone is trying to make a living, but in a lot of cases, from our experience personally and with clients, there's a purpose and a fulfillment that people get from the business that they start. So we try to get a feel for that, whether it's through the social media that we're going to be helping them with or a website we're building. Any amount of that we can bring to the forefront to show their clients or their customers can help them so that they can really portray that to their customers. If you're thinking about working with somebody or buying something from someone, I would say 9 times out of 10, you would look for someone that really appreciates work that they do and they care about it, because that's someone that's going to create something that's really good and is meaningful. So we certainly look for that.
And I think it's important to take into consideration that everyone's human. People want to see that personal aspect to either your website or your social media management in terms of content that's on there, the about page. I think people sometimes are so key on being so business professional that doesn't need to be the case all the time. People like relating to you personally because, like I said, everyone's human.
Yeah, and then we also look at things like unique aspects of a person's business, what's going to set them apart from other competitors or other businesses that may be similar to theirs. That's always something that if we can nail that down and figure out what that is, we can then apply that to social media content. We can apply that to your website and really help you from a marketing perspective. The more we can understand about a person's business, why they've started it, what's their competitive advantage that they may have, or those types of things are really important to help us to help that client really portray them in the best light and improve their image and their sales and everything that goes into that. Those are some things that we look at for sure.
Yeah, I love that because finding that niche, and Brittany, you said it too about that personality, having that story to be told. It's funny because when I came to you, I feel like I didn't really flush that out as much. And now that I've been working with you and seeing a lot of the things that you send to me weekly for approval, and for those that are interested, by the way, of checking out some of the work that they've done, all you simply need to do is even go to my Facebook page for the Your Speaking Voice LLC, or if you're on LinkedIn, Brittany and Corey, like you guys have both done so much with that to help me out. Brittany, I know you've done a lot more of it, obviously, with the social media side, but you definitely have. But you could even take a look at some of the work, or even on their own Facebook page of some of the other clients that they've worked with. But I find that I've been embracing a lot more of my personality as a result of that, because that's what people are looking for, is that connection. So speaking of connection, why would people want to come to you as, say, to another big, large marketing firm? Because I've had other people on the show that deal with larger firms and they do marketing of that sense. They do fractional marketing, that concept. And I know you even said earlier that, yeah, we're really more tailored towards small businesses. But there's competition amongst small businesses trying to get marketing dollars, because marketing yourself is so important. So what makes you, in your mind, stand out from the competition?
I think what's important is we create relationships with each one of our clients. You're just not another ticket or another person that's paying us. You're actually someone that we care about and we can create a relationship with.
Yeah, our accessibility is definitely something that would be a lot better than working with a large company. We give out our personal phone numbers to help people if you needed something specific at some point in time and you texted one of us and it was 9 o'clock at night, we help do whatever we can for that. That's important to us. It's not like a 9 to 5 clock out, we'll talk to you when we talk to you kind of deal. So that's definitely something that you wouldn't see with a larger company. It's just not something that you would be working with a major company. And then we're competitively priced as compared to a lot of these larger companies, honestly. Most small businesses shy away from those companies once they get the sticker shock of what it takes to do social media management, build a website, those types of things. And we work with those smaller companies. And I think one of the things that we can say pretty confidently is that we're pretty competitively priced. And I think what we charge is fair for the value that we provide, as opposed to such a large sticker shock price you might see with a major company.
Yeah, it's just not one size fits all when it comes to these things. We work directly with you to make a package that fits your needs, or a website that fits your needs, what you exactly need. So I think it's definitely all goes back to just creating that relationship and being able to collaborate with each one of our clients to get exactly what they want.
And of course, we have a lot of great experience to go off of as well in a number of different industries. So we can provide a lot of value to a variety of different companies. From a marketing perspective, anything from trailer part services to insurance to Your Speaking Voice, all different types of things that we have going. We're not into one specific industry. We work with so many different small businesses. And since we are small business owners ourselves, we understand a lot of the challenges that you guys go through, that we go through, and we can relate to that. I think we're able to establish those relationships a lot better than maybe if you're working with an account manager at a large company that's never ran a business, or that's just a job for them. This is something that we do and that we live. So we have a much better understanding of things that people go through as business owners, and then challenges that they might face as well, and how to work with them and face those things.
And not just an understanding, but you have so much at stake with that relationship too, that you want to do it right. And I think that makes it so distinguishable between what you just said, Corey, about the people that you go to a big company, you get lost in the weeds, as opposed to the individualized attention that you get from a small business that understands and it will cater to those needs because they are able to be flexible. They are not regimented like some corporations and even government for that matter, which both of you know, I've worked for government, still do as I build out my business after 14 years. And I can tell you for a fact, there's a lot of red tape with that. But you said something that also was a question of mine because we both have shared this. And Brittany, you know that I've shared a lot about, man, I know I need to do a better job of my social media game and being able to get myself out there. But do you find that in your business that there's some struggles that you have? And maybe you can talk about one struggle that you have that could be helpful for kind of associating, speaking of being able to associate with not only people and businesses for that matter, but also my listeners. What's that one thing that maybe has been a sticking point, and what have you been doing to navigate through that, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I think definitely one of my struggles, this is a joke, I feel like, in the social media manager community, but you're so worried about posting on all of your clients' pages that you neglect your own page. So that's something I'm working on, is trying to be more consistent on our own social media and just stay on top of that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that right now. So many things going on, and we're trying to meet deadlines to get everybody else's things done. And then we're like, we got to post on our page about our content for ourselves, about making content for other people. And those things are something that we could improve on for sure, and trying to provide tips and value there. I would agree with that for sure.
I love the honesty though, because we just agreed on the same thing that we all need to do better on social media, even if we're at. Yeah. And although I contract you for it, it still doesn't mean though that I should be doing a lot more, because you're just helping to move that needle around too. So that goes for any of my business owners listening to this, is that it isn't just about what you do to hire somebody to help you out. You still need to put some accountability into it. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
Brittany and Corey, we're almost at the end of our time, but I want to give you one more question that I have on my mind, because you guys helped me out of a big rut that I have. And I was just going to tell the story real quick. But back in fall of 2022, when I was about ready to open my business, I hired actually another business before you to do my website and everything. And they literally let me down. And to this day, I've honored my word to what I said to that person when they let me down. I said, I will never mention your name. And I have not yet mentioned their name on anything. And I'm so proud of myself, because if that means that I didn't mention their name, they're never going to get any business. So you guys have helped me out on so many different things as a result of that. So my question to you is, what makes not only you stand out from the competition, which I've already asked you and you already answered that, but what makes you likable? What makes you be able to connect with not only the people that you want to form those relationships with, but if somebody else was to hire you today, what would they expect from you outside of the things that you said? Because yeah, you can be friendly, you can be small business owned, you can be available at all hours, but at some point there has to be something that really connects. What's that one characteristic that you would say makes you stand out? And I like to hear from both of you what that one characteristic is. So, Corey, you can't steal Brittany's answer.
Ladies first. So
Ladies first. Yep. Yep.
I think the fact that we actually listen to what they have to say. We take into consideration all of their viewpoints, all of their feedback, and we work together to get the end result. So in the end, they hired us to complete a website or do their social media. So I think it's our role to listen to them and put exactly what they want to see or hear, but then add a twist on it from the experience that we have. So that's mine.
Corey, you can't steal now.
That's okay. That wasn't what I was going to say. What I would say is that, and I think I speak for both of us when I say this, is that we actually care about our clients, the results, and what actually needs to get done. And what I mean, like in your case, you were kind of in a bind when you came to us a little bit. You wanted to have some things done quickly if possible. And so like when I started on your website, like I actually cared how that got done, when that got done, and how it was important to you. And I think some other people may not feel that way if it just comes across their desk and it's just a project that they're working on. And for me, it's never like that, especially if you're in some kind of tight situation, since our name is going to be on that final product, but more importantly, helping the people out that you're doing the work for. Because we've worked with businesses in the past in a number of different things, and it's not like that in all businesses, in all industries. It's just a transaction. They don't necessarily care about you. They don't necessarily care too much about the job that they're doing. It's just a transaction. Let's get it done as quick as possible, move on to something else. And that's not how we operate at all. I care, we care what happens with your company. I care that I get it done as quickly as I can for you. And I care about helping you out of a situation that you're in because it's the right thing to do.
I think in the end, we're just here to help our clients. I mean, Josh, the last call that we had together, you picked my brain on several topics. I wasn't like, oh, I can't tell you that. You're not paying us to do that. I told you that information because we are here to help you. And we want to build that relationship with everyone that we help.
That is the biggest part of not only owning a business, but knowing that when you do that, when you build those relationships, you build the confidence, you build determination. As you know, those are the values of my business, but yet that rubs all in the same way of why it's important to do all those things. It builds consistency, and that is the key. So Brittany, Corey, you guys have been awesome to talk to. I want to give you the last few minutes here to pitch Enzo Digital LLC. I'm sure some people might be interested if they have their own business, maybe wanting to get some social media management, maybe have a website, maybe have some marketing materials done. So with all that said, how can they reach out to you? How they can get connected with you? I'm going to give you both the last few minutes to do that.
You can simply just type in Enzo Digital LLC to take a look at our website and the services that we offer that Joshua's gone over here on the episode. You can find us on social media, obviously, since that's where we do our work. Facebook is one that we use a lot. So Enzo Digital, just take a look at that. And we're happy to talk to you, answer any questions that you have ahead of time before we do any work for you. So you can make sure that you're making the right decision for your business, and we can set your mind at ease if that's something that you'd like to do beforehand. There's no obligations to talk to us at all. We can just start a conversation, see what we can do for each other, and if we're able to help, we certainly will. We'd love the opportunity to be able to help any other small business owners that are listening out there that may need some help or may just want to work with somebody that they can trust. I think you can attest to that yourself, Josh, because I think that's more important than anything really in any industry, any business, is just finding someone that you can trust. And if they say that they're going to do something, they follow through on that and that they have your best interest in mind. Yeah, I think that's where we can help out.
I love that you wrapped it up, Corey, instead of Brittany. Thanks for giving her a break.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work, so I'm glad that you do that. But in all honesty, all three of us do a lot of work. But I will have to tell you, as we wrap up here, you guys have been the backbone of me allowing myself to have that voice in this ever-changing world. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for you guys and continuing to build that and the partnership that we have as a result of all of that. And for those that have doubts about whether there are good people in this world, you just heard from the last half hour, two of those individuals that are doing some good stuff, and I highly recommend them. I am loud and proud about Enzo Digital, and for all those reasons, Brittany and Corey, thanks for being on Speaking from the Heart today. I really enjoyed our conversations, and not only that, I'm glad that I got to talk to both of you at once. That was new for me, and I think it worked out pretty well, so thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having us. You just made our night.
Thank you.
I want to thank Brittany and Corey again so much for this awesome conversation and allowing me to be able to interview both of them at the same time. It does take quite a lot of coordination and time management to be able to do that, so I want to thank the both of them. They also wanted me to let you know, my listeners, that if you're interested in receiving any of their services, they are doing a special as being part of this show, Speaking from the Heart. As long as you reference the podcast, you'll receive your first month of social media management at half the cost of a 3-month contract, and also 15% off your website design and creation. And it's only good for 30 days today from the air date of this show. So I highly encourage you to check it out before July comes so that you can take advantage of that special offer that they're providing to you, my listeners. But even with all the special offers and all the riveting conversation that we had, I have to say this much. If it wasn't for these two individuals working with me when I was trying to even figure out what direction I wanted to go in terms of marketing myself, I would not be where I am today. So I have to thank them yet again for allowing me to be able to grow, not only in my business, but to shout it to the mountaintops. Because even with all the things that might be happening in your life, whether you're an undeclared major or you're trying to figure out what your life calling is all about, figuring out what is really your passion, the work that you really want to do, will allow you to grow not only in the variety of ways in which we have shared on this show, but it allows you to find interesting dynamics that you might not ever consider before. The teamwork, being able to fall in love with the interesting dynamics that we have in this world come in all shapes and sizes, allowing us to see that balance of work and life can even happen in our own backyard, our very own house for that matter. And which is why I love small businesses. I'm not even talking about my own, Your Speaking Voice LLC. I'm talking about businesses like Enzo Digital LLC. I'm talking about all those awesome opportunities in which you could be even working with your closest partner, which might be even your best friend in marriage, to be able to have not only the awesome opportunities to design things that you never thought imaginable, like a custom bait business, but even enjoy doing what you're doing. It can be as simple as something that you really enjoy in your life right now. Why not market it? Why not create vast opportunities to sell it to the masses? It doesn't have to be a big overarching dream, and the vast amount of resources that are available to small businesses has never been more than has ever been before and only continues to grow. Funding that's provided through a variety of different government grants, even opportunities to work with small business development centers, was the very reason why I even was able to get this business, even an LLC for that matter, off the ground for relatively no cost or no cost at all, depending on what I was looking to do. Many of the operating agreements, all the establishments of the LLC with the federal and state governments, all of those have happened because of just being able to find those resources. Working in your community, there are people that want to bless you in a variety of ways so that you can get yourself off the ground. The financial, getting bookkeeping, being able to help yourself grow in ways in which you can work yourself into a social media platform, to be a sensation, to be on a platform that creates all kinds of different things that you enjoy doing. What's your niche? What's your calling? What can you bring to the table today that will allow you to grow and help others grow at the same time? But at the end of the day, like anything else, it starts with the people that are really believing in you, that are really close to you, that can help lift you to a world of awesome opportunity, which we're going to have some of those guests on the show, especially this coming month. Trust me on this. Some of those conversations are going to blow your mind as to how much they have really helped me to see my true version of myself. But they can help you, your very own close circle, see the true version of yourself, even if you don't believe it. It's all about creating relationships, which is why they are so important to keep building, to keep on thinking that you can get outside this box of this tribe that might not be helping you grow in a variety of different ways. It actually means looking forward instead of looking backward, especially if you want to see yourself grow in a variety of ways, even if it is just about your partnership with your best friend. But you have to know your purpose. I've seen too many times people starting their business only looking for the dollars, but instead they should be looking for the people that will help them continue to grow. You might be losing money, and you might be just breaking even. And trust me, I've had months where I'm losing money or just breaking even. But it's about building that consistency, knowing that people will believe in you and what you have to offer as long as you keep grinding, you keep being appreciative, you keep having that positive mindset. But at the same time, if you don't know what your end goal is, you are not ever going to be successful. And I've had many guests, even before Brittany and Corey today, talk about the importance of knowing that purpose, mind mapping it, writing down what's your mission, your vision, your values, which we've talked about in some monologue episodes. Check them out. But it's about fulfilling the fact that we are all human, and we have to connect in ways not only that are professional in nature, but personal as well. This is a very competitive world that we live in, and I feel like it's gotten even more divisive, thinking that people are just always trying to get that quick buck. But at the same time, small businesses, the backbone in which we're able to create the versions of ourselves that we have today, means that we have to learn how to manage our expectations with the finite resources that we have. Size does matter. Being a mid-size or large-size corporation can certainly make a big difference in how you're able to achieve the dreams and aspirations that you want to achieve. Small businesses don't have that leverage. They're depending on their local communities, individuals that are right in their backyard to support them, which is why I've seen too many times over and over again businesses not becoming the best versions of themselves because they're not identifying with their community. Even for myself, I have to know what my community is. It's people that are 18 years of age or older, and they are willing to work on themselves and have a mindset in which they want to continue growing. I have turned people away that do not have that mindset. I have encouraged and pushed them into thinking that they need to be able to adapt that mindset so that they can work in my programs that I offer. Brittany and Corey are also working within their own leverages, being able to understand what the client wants, providing that expectation, and revisiting that expectation consistently, over and over again, which is why you have to not only think about the size of your business, but how you can right-size it for all the areas that you can achieve, because you certainly don't want to stretch yourself too far. There is such a thing as scalability. But at the end of the day, you have to listen, listen, listen. Because consistency, even in the social media world, even doing podcasts, even doing businesses that involve coaching, care about what you have to say. But in turn, you have to listen to what other people are saying and respond to that. You can't be in complacency. You have to be able to understand not only how you can grow, how you can persevere, but also manage the testimonies, the feedback that you will receive. But most importantly, above all else, what expectations your clients, your customers, regardless of who it is that you serve, what they are expecting from you. Care about your results. Listen to individuals that are giving you sound advice. But most importantly, rely on the frameworks that you're building to create the best versions, not just of yourself, but also your business. Brittany and Corey represent a teamwork dynamic that I hope one day I'll be able to grow in my own business. But for today, I know that I have to continue working on that. I know that I have to have people that surround me and also learn from me, but also at the same time, I learn from them. Brittany and Corey's relationship are an interesting dynamic, which I think for my many business owners, you should pay attention to. They are on a track to help themselves not only get that financial stability, not only continuously helping others, but at the same time, they know that by listening, they are going to be able to succeed. They are going to be able to achieve some of the wildest dreams that they ever imagined. And to top it all off, they're going to have success from social media, marketing, and even website design that I think will challenge the industry. Because let's face it, even if you think that it's just another company just showcasing their goods on this show, you're missing the whole point of what this has been all about. Goods and services are not the dimension that we're talking about when we say to speak from the heart. It actually gives a framework. It gives an opportunity for people in their wildest dreams to achieve something that they never thought they could ever achieve. If you ever have been on the fence about how you can market yourself, these two people are part of an overall framework, an overall growth network of people that are willing to help you out, businesses that are willing to give you service, but also allow you to evolve into something that you never thought possible, which we've talked about on a recent episode. Enjoy what you're doing, but also pay attention to others. I think you're going to be surprised by not only the results that you'll see, but the wildest opportunities that are yet to be unlocked in you. And hey, if you can be really creative about it, and you can be really amazing to others, I think it's going to pay off, not only in money, but in success as well. Thanks for listening to episode number 118 of Speaking from the Heart, and I look forward to hearing from your heart very soon.
Thanks for listening. For more information about our podcast and future shows, search for Speaking from the Heart to subscribe and be notified wherever you listen to your podcasts. Visit us at www.yourspeakingvoice.biz for more information about potential services that can help you create the best version of yourself. See you next time.